Hi, my name's Mr. Board. I'm the science subject leader at Mauldeth Primary School. I do a little bit of teacher training work at University of Manchester, and I got wind of the fact that that Jo was running the RoundView training, so I went along to see what it looked like, and I just thought it was brilliant. It's the fact that you're not just standing there telling people what they need to learn. Because the people who are learning are interacting with the puzzles, they've got that opportunity to work it out for themselves. And I think that really changes the emphasis of how people interact with the whole system. I think it works absolutely brilliantly. So this afternoon we had a group of Year 5 and Year 6 pupils, and we've worked with them this afternoon to train them up in RoundView principles and understanding how to use the resources. And I think they've learned quite a lot. And then we invited the children to come back after school, and we invited a whole load of teachers and teaching assistants and a couple of governors to come as well. And then we got the children to have a go at teaching the adults.
I thought it was amazing. I mean, watching the children explaining the principles with such confidence, and they were just nailing the key principles in the way they were articulating it and the way they were enthusiastic about those ideas. It really came across that they had learned something and they wanted to impart that knowledge.
And I think that's it shows how simple the RoundView is to learn. That once you've kind of done it, it's kind of like, well, that's really obvious. Why, I can just pass that knowledge on to somebody else, very, very easily, because it comes through the puzzles.
It was this afternoon. We had that group of students, an hour and a half with them, and they were literally teaching their teachers the same day. It was really extraordinary, actually. Yeah. And the ideas they were coming up with for what we could do differently as well was really powerful. Yeah,
and I think for the adults, it's very interesting for them to hear that message from the children, because we're all conscious, think, as adults, that the children have going to be living in this world for longer than we are at the moment. Yeah. We need to be doing things differently to look after the planet for younger people.
I did think it was interesting at the end, the way we asked whether or not the students felt more hopeful after this, and they all put their hands up more, that they said they were more hopeful. A few said, yes, a bit more hopeful. I mean, they said that there's quite a lot to change, isn't it? They definitely could see the enormity of it.
Yeah, they were worried that there were a lot of people on the planet who perhaps don't think in that way. And that's what they were concerned about, is that we can, people can learn about this, how we need to solve the problems and what, how simple it will be to solve these problems. But if not everybody is thinking that way, then it becomes difficult, which is why we want to try and roll this out, isn't it?
Well, yeah. And I think they really responded to that as well, the idea that it isn't just their responsibility. Because I think that's one of the problems sometimes. We teach sustainability to children, and it's like, well, over to you now. It's your job, and I think that's not really fair, because it's all of our jobs. Yeah, I think that's really important.
Yeah. I think I was a bit surprised, because we did run a session with trainee teachers just recently, and I was quite surprised to see the children engage with it almost more effectively. I think
you're right.
They were a bit more switched on to the situation. I think there was so that was quite a surprise. I'm not quite sure why that was. Was it just because they were in a school situation, or was it something more fundamental? Was it something about their age? Was it something about maybe it's something about the puzzles? Maybe they were more keen to play with puzzles because children are better at playing than grown-ups are. I'm not sure, but it was interesting.
Maybe they have less to unlearn. That we've become quite. I think the sense of doom and gloom has become quite deep, particularly in sort of young adults. And I think perhaps they've got just a little bit less to unlearn. But then we've got to sort of give them real action to take, and see that other people are taking that action.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so they're still, the children, from a children's perspective, they're still growing. They know they're still becoming a person. That there's going to be a lot of changes in their life over the next few years. So this maybe becomes easily adopted as a process. Whereas with fully grown adults, it's like, but I am I am who I am, and this is my life, and I don't want to have to go back and change things, perhaps. Maybe change comes easier to younger people, I think.
Or maybe it's just so simple and so obvious. They just think, well, this is how it is, the children. They haven't had to learn yet that most people don't think like that.
Yeah.
And they just think, well, that seems logical.
Yeah.
So isn't that how people think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Coming soon is going to be fairly soon. It's going to be a change in the curriculum. The government have said they're going to be integrating environmental sustainability in a fairly serious way into the new Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2 curriculum. And so obviously there's going to be a lot of schools looking for teaching materials, thinking about how can we teach sustainability, and what are the most effective ways to teach about it. And so it's very timely to be exploring this at the moment and trying it out. And we've got something that's already been in development. You were saying 25 years?
Yeah.
Or so this is being developed and being improved. For me in school, it's very much about now trying to get this into part of the mainstream curriculum rather than being an event that we do with just a small group of children. I'd like to see this being part of the curriculum and actually all children going, having this as part of their education.
And for me, I think the really important thing with this shift in the curriculum is I would really like to see this message of hope part of the curriculum. I'm slightly concerned that we might end up just teaching just how bad the crisis might be and just how bad the climate crisis might be, and then just leaving with a few, and here's a few things you can do, without people seeing how that adds up to actually changing the system and the way we're doing things. So I think there's a little bit of a danger that we present a crisis and then just a few sticking plasters, and children aren't stupid. They know that that's not enough. So I would really like to see this idea of really understanding the root causes of environmental problems and their positive opposites to become part of our conversation, so that we have a serious conversation about what we need to change and see how the small actions that people are taking add up to really moving in the right direction. Yeah,
absolutely. I think from working with trainee teachers, I think one of the early times that I ran a session with trainee teachers about environmental sustainability was during COVID, and so it was all done over Zoom, and even over Zoom we were getting a sense from the teachers that a lot of them felt a bit despondent, and climate anxiety was an issue. And we said to them, trying to be quite light-hearted about it, just put, if you feel, I want you to put one word in the chat. If you're feeling positive, maybe put the word positive. If you're feeling, sense of doom, maybe put the word doomed into the chat. And 150 people just went doomed into the chat immediately. And it was at that point for me, I kind of realized that we need to look at another way of teaching this, because it's all very well teaching people who feel doomed what the problem is, but if you're not showing them solutions, you're not going to help with that feeling of we are all doomed.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing is, what the RoundView shows us is the really simple understanding of what we need to do differently. Everybody can grasp it. Everybody that we talked to today could see what we need to do differently. And I think that's the important message to get across, isn't it? Yeah. And then, of course, we need to build the skills about how to do it. That's the next part of the conversation. But if we don't have that fundamental understanding, what kind of conversations are we having with children?
Yeah, it's the looking at, isn't it? Rather than focusing on the little things, rather than, sustainability training, just only focusing on the little things, the little actions you can do, like a bit of recycling or using a reusable water bottle. It's also addressing, well, what are the principles? The principles behind, solving all these problems. How do we cycle everything? How do we keep everything in balance? Yeah. And that makes it really clear.
I was amazed by the language we were hearing when the children were describing this to the teachers today. Yeah. They had grasped the idea of design for disassembly. They were telling the students that we need to take things apart and we need to reuse them and we need to make sure that doesn't get into nature. It was just brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really good.
I love the idea that we should send some of these kids down to Downing Street to teach the politicians exactly how to be thinking differently.
Yes, they were keen on that idea.
They were, yeah.
One of the reasons I think the RoundView is quite different from other approaches that I've used is because there's an element of discovery in it. I think the participants They're using the materials. Whoever's leading the workshop doesn't have to be the font of all knowledge, and you're kind of looking at. First of all, the first step is to assemble the puzzle, get that working. The next bit is to then look at the puzzle and try and work out what is the puzzle showing you, because a lot of it's done symbolically, pictorially, and it's really nice to see those conversations between participants and seeing them. I mean, social constructivism at work, where you've got those people, adults, children, whoever it is, talking to each other and working out what they know and what the puzzle is showing them and how that fits with what they know, and learning directly from that process with the puzzle. And I think it's a very powerful kind of, I think I've described it before as a hybrid teaching technique, so that because it does involve elements of giving some instructions, maybe giving a bit of information, but a lot of the work is done from the participants' interaction with the puzzle. I think RoundView very much looks at the big issue. So the three root causes, which are obviously they're groups. They're groups, and within those root causes there are different problems. But it's looking at that more holistic view, rather than focusing on little bits. And if you teach about sustainability by focusing on little sections, this is a little problem. How could we solve this? Whereas this encompasses everything. So it's looking at the three root causes, and then it's looking at the principles of how those three root causes can be solved. So it addresses absolutely everything. And I think it's that stepping out and focusing very broadly and looking at how it works. It's I think something that really works well with this process.
That's a really interesting way of thinking about it, going beyond because often you get that, please give us some examples of what we need to do. And that's fine, and that's important. But when you only give the small examples of what we need to do, that could perhaps even be adding to the sense of doom, because everybody knows that isn't enough.
Yes.
And we need to look at it as a whole and see that it's actually possible to change the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good
point.
But
it's, I mean, we have talked about the little things that we can do within the workshop session today, and it's presenting those little things alongside the bigger picture. And then if you've got a sense of what the bigger picture of the solution is, you can see how the little changes you make lead into that bigger picture.
Absolutely.
And it's that perspective, that different perspective that RoundView has, which I think is what makes it different certainly from other things I've tried to do before.